So I just bought the biggest ice cream that I've ever bought. It's a big 4-liter tub, and I have no idea if it will fit into the freezer. I just assume anything that's sold at the grocery store will fit in an average fridge, but I don't actually know if it will. But usually a tub half that size only fits in a corner of the fridge, so I figured it has to fit. And so I'll just see. I don't know if it'll fit or not. If it doesn't fit, I'll just make icy falls in a big jug of milkshake and try and put it in a small container. But it should be okay. I'm assuming, like I said, that. But the funniest thing was I wanted to get a smaller tub, which was around $5.50, but people stole it when I was trying to get someone to assist me to get it down from the back of the freezer. Two people stole the ice cream, and when we went there to pick it out, this person who's older than me and smaller than me was standing up on the edge of the freezer to get it down, and I only didn't do that because I know that can damage the freezer. You're not supposed to do it. You're supposed to go and ask for assistance. And then I went to get assistance, and by the time it had only taken a minute, and by the time I got back there, both the last two containers of the ice cream had been taken. And so then I went to scour, what ice creams are there left? Basically everything but a sorbet was $10, but I'm not really that keen on sorbet most of the time, so I said, sorbet, I don't really want sorbet. And then I found this huge container of ice cream in the bottom of the fridge, which was $9.50, and I'd be paying around $9 for any other container besides the sorbet, which was $6.50. And this one was double the size. And I said to myself, well, it's double the size, may as well get the big one. And I did think, well, maybe it won't fit in our freezer, but I just assume that it can fit in an average freezer, unless you got a bar fridge. So I'll just hope that it does fit. And I also bought my arancini balls because I have a thing for them. I'm kind of a bit over the sausages at the moment, so they go really well with rice, and they're really tasty, and I like them, and they're not too much, only $5.50. And then I bought also some lip balm from me because I've run out. I did want the different brand, but then I said, no, this is a brand that I've been using, so I went with the average brand that I have been using, and not a different brand, because sometimes the alteration in the recipe just doesn't moisturize my lips that well, and unless I'm buying from somewhere like Chemist Warehouse where everything's on special, I'm literally telling myself best not to gamble, because at Chemist Warehouse I just buy 5 and they're all pretty cheap, and then I just take the whole bundle home and see which ones work. But for this one, I said, I'm paying full price, so better not gamble with that. And so I just packed up the one in the original recipe kind of attitude. I was supposed to be going to a meeting today, but my parent didn't want to drive, and I can't drive, and the bus doesn't get there on time, and the bus will cost me probably around $35, $25, and I never think of taking the bus because I'm always assuming that I won't take the bus. But I think next year I should probably arrange to take the bus and do. But then I have to walk around, and walking around is tiring, and I should get my things transferred to, it's the same. I was going to say, I should get my thing transferred to the city, and then I can visit the city while I'm going to the government. I mean, it's around the same spans of time to get to the city, well, not the city, but a city suburban area, than it is to go further out into the country to meet the rural version of a city. But I'm also applying for an exemption as soon as the work picks up, so I'm going to see if I can get a working exemption so I don't have to go to meetings anymore, because I'm working full time, is what I say before the year starts and they don't give me work for another month or two. But boy, am I thirsty. I should stop there for a drink. Oh, it's just what a hot day. I got a few books from the library. I got a bio. I actually kind of wanted a Marilyn bio today. I used to enjoy reading them. If they had one there, I would be like, yes, I'll take that bio home, because it's not a fascinating story, it just gives you a likable read usually. I've read probably around 10 of her bios, and it's always interested me for some reason. It's always like an easy to read, interesting to read sort of book. So I didn't get to choose a Marilyn bio, but essentially that's what I felt like reading. So I chose the biography of England, and it has a book on all their rulers, the English monarch rulers, and so I chose that as one. I chose the Strange Family Next Door, which is all about suspicious about the weird ass family next door. And what was the other one I chose? The other one looked interesting. I don't remember what it was about. It wasn't a romance. It was about like Christmas at an Indian camp. So you're going back to colonial days in India, where the settlers, they're meeting packs of Indian who want to make war against them around Christmas time. So there you go, a festive inspired book, which I thought would be an interesting read. So I said, oh, that one looks a little interesting, so I'll just read that one. I have no idea what to expect with these books. It's been a while since I read, so I thought, well, I've got so much time on my hands and nothing to do. I mean, I go outside, I get bored of walking, and then it's so hot. I don't want to go outside, so while I'm inbound with the hot weather, what I need is a beach. I should go on a holiday, but I haven't saved. Don't get me wrong, got lots of savings, but I haven't saved for a holiday where I can just splurge whatever's on my card. I think this year I'll be able to eradicate the debt on my credit card, and then I'll consider splurging. a credit card's worth of travel and hotel, and I'm gonna stop. I'm always saying I'm gonna stop spending, but I should stop spending too. So, but I have to wait months and months to get a gift card. So by that time I'm impatient. And I'm like, I want this, I want that, I want paint, I want, new clothes. I want to invest, so I'm actually doing something. So by the time all my bitter complaints come out, I want too much, but I'm going to try and even it out next year. So I'll just, I say this while I'm being lazy with the surveys. So anyway, next year I might have it a bit more hands down. When I start working, I won't have time to go out and do anything anyways, and I might decrease my spending because I'm too busy resting when I'm not working. Because working full time is a bit tough. It wears it wears down on you a little, and then you don't have time even to go down for a walk to the store. So next year it might be different. The only thing I'll need to walk down to the store is for teas. That's how I keep myself energized. But if I stick to my guns and I use all my levels of patience, then I might have a pretty good income next year. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll still have to work for jobs because it's not sustaining. But my expectation is come January, everything will start again. Maybe February, and then see how the year goes. If I got a new job, it wouldn't start till February anyways, because everyone's lazy in January and they don't want to bother with organizing new recruits until February anyways. So it's always February is the month where people actually start working, never January. It's only the big bosses who work in January, and they're still stretching out the Christmas cheer. So for the average worker, February is the month where the year actually begins. I was considering getting a normal job this year because I have a good one in the city with a business that I worked with before. They're okay, but they demand that you be there on time all the time, and it's okay, but everyone's a little uncomfortable. I mean, I don't do well working in offices. I do better working from home. So I like my work from home jobs. If they regain that, I don't feel like I'm missing out on something by torturing myself to going into a workplace, because I'm not admired and people don't really like me that much, and I'm not going to get a raise, let alone a raised position. And I've only gotten a raised position in certain organizations, and they're not considering me for employment. So so I've had my raise when I was in my early 20s, and now it's like, you're not going to get a raise. In fact, you're not even going to get in. So I probably did something that tainted my reputation, but I don't know. I have to keep telling myself, look miserable at your interview, because otherwise you won't get in. So I always get perky, and I always like, I'm talking up and in a heightened, hyped up way, and people hate that. It's like, don't act happy, don't act like flirty, and don't smile. People want you to be miserable, like, I'm such a loser, this is my only chance, that I've already blown it, and with tears in your eyes, there's no way I got that job. When you're in that kind of mentality, that depressive, on your last rung kind of mentality, then they give you the job as your lucky day. So people always say smile and be polite, and it's like, no, actually it's the opposite. If you do the opposite thing to smiling, if you look as miserable as you can, people might actually hire you. Because whenever I talk myself up and I look happy, I don't get the job. But whenever I'm so depressed, there's no way I'm going to get this job, and I'm practically crying and feeling miserable, then they give you the job, and then you're like, what the hell? All my training's been put into foil. You have to look as miserable as you can. But it always passes my head because I end up looking so happy that no one wants to give me the job. So it's like, oh, I must be living the most fantastic life ever. Anyway, that's work stuff. I don't have to really think about working in the city while I'm working from home. I just go, oh, the only time I go out of my house is to go vacation, to go to the stores and eat takeaway. You know, I don't want to know the world unless I'm in that mode. Because I don't work outdoors. I prefer to work from home. Working from home has always been my dream because I haven't been the strongest of health since I was young. And I find it too difficult. It's too tiring unless I'm working right in the city. And city apartments suck and they're so expensive, and people try and break in all the time, and you know, and if you go for the penthouses because the other ones get flooded when it floods, and you're like, well, this is really living the highlight, spending at least $2,000 a month on rent. And then you got the bills and everything else, and then you're like, oh, my money. It's a painful, excruciating sensation. You may as well be buying a house. But that's where you want to be, because then you can get up at 8 and be there by 9. Otherwise it gets tiring getting up at 5 to get there by 9. 6 at the earliest, and I'm like, oh, as soon as I'm dragging myself out of bed at 6, I'm done with it. So that's why I need to relocate to city if I'm, or wherever I'm working, because then I'm like, I don't get up till 8. I have breakfast by 8:30. I'm at work by 9. And that's a lot more doable than the 5 or 6 a.m. starts, because I just don't have the energy to spare. But I guess I won't branch out to office work until I don't have something else to do. I'm not keen on going to the offices because I'm not ever convinced it's any good for me. It's no good going that extra mile for people who don't appreciate what it is you do. You're just number 5 of the 10 people who are considered, and you know, they can get rid of you just as fast as they pick you up. So I'm like, no, I don't think I'm going to rise on any level, and I don't think I'm going to get a promotion, and I don't think I'm going to earn more money, and I don't think I'm going to be of any interest to anyone around me, so I'm not making friends. and stuff, and so while everything's so like that, it's like, why the hell should I go an extra mile just to feel uncomfortable and be around people who don't even really appreciate you that much? And so I'm pretty much not keen on it, but one day I might. Maybe all my jobs will expire, and then I'll be like, oh, if I don't hurry up and get a job, I'm going to be financially struggling, and then I might apply for a job or so, and maybe I'll get it. Probably won't. You're really scraping the bottom of the barrel there. But that's later. That's in another year or 2. I'll think about that later. I have a good feeling about my jobs. I think that they are going to last another year, possibly. And if they do, I'm on easy street, and then I can plan vacations and see what I can see, do what I can do, maybe afford a thing or two. I'm at least going to plan a vacation because I do want to go to the beach. I want to lay around the beach, and I just want to swim in a nice ocean. I can't really swim though, so I might have to just stand on the edge of the ocean and practice swimming in the hotel pool instead. It's like walk along the ocean, kick your toes in the water. Yeah, that's why I spent $1,500. Yeah. I hope this ice cream isn't melted. It's so hot. It's like 37 degrees. 32 degrees, I'd be guessing. If not peaking to 35, I don't know. I'm sweating all over. Can't wait to get back.